And with the round at Spain all done and dusted, it is time to move on into the predictions for the Monaco Grand Prix. It is a double header for Formula 1. Now this is the series in which you guys, the audience, can get involved with by following that link in the top line of the description. You'll be asked a set of questions which we will briefly go over. So without further ado, let us jump on into the Monaco Grand Prix predictions. And how exactly does this series work? By following that link in the top line of the description, you'll be asked for your top 5 for qualifying, your top 5 for the race, the driver of the day, and one bold encompassing statement. Now there are various rules along with this series, but the main ones are you're only allowed to make one submission to this link, and it can be made at any point before the start of qualifying. So if you want to be like myself and make the predictions well before practice in advance, then you can do that, or if you want to leave it all the way up until the very end of FP3, then by all means do that as well. For a full list of the rules for this series, there is a rules document again listed in the description. But there is a small little point scoring system that goes along with this. You'll receive 2 points for a driver in the correct position for your top 5 for qualifying, and 1 point if the driver appears in your top 5 but not in the correct position. Very similar scoring is then done for the race, however you'll receive 3 points for a driver in the correct position, then 2 points for driver of the day, and then for the bold statement you have 3 levels of risk. Low risk statements will be rewarded 2 points, medium risk 5, and high risk statements 10. So if you want to predict something really high risk, like the Williams will have a double point score for both Latifi and Albon, that is something that will be considered as a high risk statement. Or if you want to go for something a bit on the low risk side, like a Red Bull or a Ferrari will appear on the podium, that would be considered a low risk statement. Or something a bit in the medium risk statements, you could say that Alfa Romeo or Alpine, for example, could get a double point score. That is something that would be a medium risk statement. Now these statements don't have to apply to just the race, they can apply to anything regarding the weekend. Now I will be mediating these risk levels and I do change them every now and then. So if you do put high risk and then say that a Red Bull or a Ferrari will be on the podium, I will change it from high down to low. And then vice versa, if you underball the risk of your statement, I will increase it depending on what other people have predicted as well. But then new for this year, we have the option to boost your score. You get 5 chances to do this year, and this will double your overall tally. Now bear in mind, you have to decide whether to use one of these boosts before you make your predictions. So again, before any of the weekend's action has even started, you've got to choose whether you want to boost, so you don't know if it is going to be worth it. However, you might want to use it at the more boring Grand Prix like Monaco or Spain just last week, but that is entirely up to you. You get 5 of them for this year. So with all of those rules and jargon out of the way, make sure to follow that link in the top line of the description to get involved in this series. But what we're going to do now is take a look at my entries into this race and see what I have predicted for the Monaco Grand Prix. So for qualifying and for pole position, I've gone for Max Verstappen, and joining him on the front row is Charles Leclerc. These two have really been the class of the field so far, but I do feel that the Red Bull does have a slight pace advantage now over the Ferrari, and as long as Leclerc can put in a decent lap, we know he's a quick qualifier, he's going to be up there with Verstappen, but I feel that the Red Bull might just have the advantage here at Monaco, as they always seem to tend to do well at this circuit. Then P3, I've gone for Carlos Sainz, hopefully having a little bit of a better qualifying and hopefully a completely incident-free weekend, but it's not guaranteed. Then P4, I've gone for Lewis Hamilton, and P5, Sergio Perez. Now having the Mercedes up in the top 5, I feel now is fully justified. With their upgrades that they have had, I feel like the car is going to be quick, but Monaco is a completely different style of circuit, where really the driver makes quite a lot of the difference. So it could benefit those people that are a lot more experienced. But moving away from the qualifying top 5, we will now take a look at the race top 5. And for the Grand Prix victory at Monte Carlo, I've gone for Charles Leclerc. And P2, Max Verstappen, and completing the podium, Lewis Hamilton. Now, I do genuinely think that for the first time in his career, in F2 and in F1, that Charles Leclerc is going to finish the Monaco Grand Prix. He will not have an incident. I hope. I really hope so, because that would suck so badly if he had another DNF or DNS at the Monaco Grand Prix. Then having Verstappen in P2, again, they're just the class of the field. Monaco is really difficult to overtake. There's not really generally a lot of positional changes. That was a bit of a tongue twister that ever happens at Monaco. So having P1 and P2 switch around isn't the biggest of changes. And then I've got Carlos Sainz in P4 and Esteban Ocon in P5. So I feel something is going to happen to Sergio Perez. He's going to drop down the order, as we know. We know from Spain now 100% that he is not going to be favoured at all over Max Verstappen. So if there is even the remote chance that Verstappen could be put on a better strategy than Perez, that will be taken and Perez will just be forgotten about, and then they will realise halfway through the race, oh, we have a second driver. So I feel like that's going to sort of bugger over Red Bull a little bit and really unfortunately hinder Perez. And then Esteban Ocon, he's just had a really good season. Like, I feel like it's one of those ones that's flown very much under the radar. And I think a P5 is very, very much achievable. And then for driver of the day for the Monaco Grand Prix, I've gone for Charles Leclerc. If he manages to come away with this victory, I cannot see it being anybody else. And then for my bold statement, it is something medium risk. Leclerc will actually finish his home race for the first time. And this is only a medium risk statement because it has never happened. In the 2 races he did in F2 in 2017 and all of the races he has done since being in F1, he has never finished. So I feel it's completely justified this being a medium risk statement to just finish the race. So there we go, there are my predictions all done and dusted for the Monaco Grand Prix. Remember, if you guys want to get involved in this series, then make sure to follow that link that is in the top line of the description. If you do want to ask any questions regarding this series, let me know in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. Now I do just want to give a massive shout out to Sue Dawson and Elliot Crosson for their continued support for me over on Patreon. If you guys feel like my channel is worthy of your financial support, there are a range of options that are all listed in the description down below, and any form of financial support from you guys towards me and my YouTube channel will receive a shout out at the end of the videos. So once again, a big thank you goes to Elliot Crosson and Sue Dawson. But that is all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.